Welcome, everyone, to the Hardin Local Weekly Podcast. I'm Phil Taul, and we're glad to have you here with us today on February 17th. So we've got a big show today, and it's going to look a little different. The original crew is back together. You know, guys, from week one. This is our 40th show.
Nice.
So 40 weeks of doing this. And back when we first started, it was John and Nate and Scott and me. And we also have a special guest, Sandy, who's here with us today. And, let's go ahead and switch over here so you can see everybody. All right. Well, as you may not have known, Sandy, she's a Hardin County worker who did work at Blue Oval SK and she was there during the plant shutdown and everything. So we're going to be interviewing her during this episode. She was featured in a New York Times article that was published yesterday. So we are excited to have you here, Sandy.
Thanks.
And as for those of you that don't know who else is here, we got Scott Lucas, my co-host today,
Hey.
and John O'Brien with events. We also got Nate Bryan with business news. Hey, Nate.
Hey.
So that's right. It's the four of us today. The original starting lineup from episode 1. Rachel, we miss having you lead our podcast today, and we hope your voice heals quickly. Also, Britten and Michele, the experienced leaders, are busy working on one of their other businesses as we speak. So we hope you have a very successful day building your brand in new and exciting ways. But before we get started, I wanted to just go over how you can connect with us. Hardin Local is now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. If you enjoy listening or watching podcasts on those platforms, please follow us. And if you don't, but you have a friend or family member who does and is local, please invite them to follow us. You can find all the links at hardinlocal.com. And you can even find a New York Times article on hardinlocal.com as well that I've posted up there that Sandy was featured in. And I think it's a good read, worth your time. If it gives you a paywall, you just need to give them your email address and you'll be able to read it for free. I had to do that. So I wasn't as what?
I was going to say people can always unsubscribe afterwards if they really want to.
You can, yeah. And I mean, I got the Apple News, and I thought New York Times was one of those, but it's not. So I still had to do that. They have almost every other publication on Apple News Plus or whatever they call it, but not that one. So we also have a LinkedIn page, and that one, we're just kind of building that audience. So if you're on LinkedIn, give us a search at Hardin Local while you're on LinkedIn, and then follow our page there. And YouTube, if you watch YouTube and you watch podcasters on YouTube, go ahead and just throw us on there. That way, when you're browsing through YouTube on your TV, you can watch us on the big screen. Just enjoy that. Even though I don't like being watched on a big screen, but every time I see it pop up on mine, I get a little freaked out. I'm like, I love but it is an easy way to follow us, and we do put a lot of content on YouTube. And so please drop your comments, questions, events, business news in the chat, and we will cover it. Let's check those comments right now. David Mathers, good to see you. Greetings to you as well, sir. All right. If you have any shout outs you want us to mention at the end of the show, drop those in the comments as well. We'll read them off during our closing segment, as long as they're appropriate. But if you have a friend that has a birthday or you have anything going on, that's just, something you want to shout out, let us know, and we'll do our best to get it up on there. Also, we want to thank today's episode, my primary employer, Taul. Taul is a local technology company right here in Elizabethtown that helps businesses run smoother and stay secure. We specialize in business phone systems, cybersecurity, practical AI tools that reduce complexity and stress for growing companies. If you'd like to learn how Taul can help your business, just comment Taul on this video or visit hardinlocal.com and find my contact info and shoot me a text message. All right. Before we dive in, I have one announcement I wanted to mention. The Hardin local election interviews. I know I've been hammering these home for the past few weeks, but they are important to us. We did these type of interviews back at the original Hardin local, and everybody loved them. So we now have over 25 candidates registered for their free interview with Hardin local for 2026. If you're running for office in an opposed race and haven't signed up yet, you have until the end of the month. Just go to hardinlocal.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll find Hardin local elections. You can read up on our methodology to make sure it stays fair. And then you can fill out a quick form. It takes less than 5 minutes to sign up. And I will reach out to you eventually. Like we have a lot to get scheduled. And once the deadline goes past, I'll work on getting everybody scheduled in. And if you don't have anybody you're running against in the primary, we'll wait till the general. If you do have somebody you're running against in the primary, then we'll definitely get you in before your primary. But each candidate gets, we'll work with you to make a format that works with you, but we're also going to ask, if you're running for, say, magistrate or city council, you're going to get asked the same questions that every other candidate gets asked, no matter what your party is, or if you've been there, if you're incumbent or not. It'll be the same questions, same amount of time. It'll be fair. And allow our audience to be able to tell the difference and help them decide who they want to vote for. Does anyone else have an announcement?
Just about that. I love what you do, Phil. I think it's great, and I've had family members run for office, but don't put us in a bind by saying, "Oh, I saw candidate Carl Clark. You gave him all this time to say something. How come I'm not on there?" When we have put it out there and put it out there and put it out there, put it out for free. Don't put us in a bind and try to say, "Okay, now we have to force you in and hamstring you in." When Phil's got other things to do, we've got other things to do. We've put it out there. It's free. If you want your spot, take your spot, but don't jump in after the bandwagon after it's already closed. Like somebody go to Disney because the line's already bad and say, "Oh, I can't get in line now." The line is there. Get in line.
Yeah.
Show up.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And that's really the only reason I keep hammering it home, because I want everybody to know that we really want you on here. No matter what you may think, we want our audience deserves, as constituents, to learn more about you, and we want to give them an easy way to see your face and understand what your platform is. And that is our goal with these. And that is what we plan on doing. So go to hardinlocal.com and sign up. Takes less than 5 minutes. All right. Let's move on to the icebreaker, because I have a fun one for us since Rachel's gone.
Oh, man. You're putting us on the spot. I don't know what to say on this one.
David Mather. You tell him, Nate. I agree.
If it's about what we did on Valentine's Day, I put it out there. If you go to Zeke's over at Little Charlie's, my artwork is now up. I think I'm a better artist than John. My Little Charlie's art is pretty darn good. As soon as I got there, Courtney and I went to go eat because we support local businesses. And with the Little Charlie's, and Zeke drops a box of crayons and some coloring sheets like we're 5. And it says, "Color this." I'm like, "You're joking." He's like, "No, I'm not." I'm like, "Okay." So it took like 30 minutes. And I'm pretty sure I still have carpal tunnel. But if you want to see my artwork, it's up on Little Charlie's. I put Nate, the Facebook guy, on it. So,
oh, really?
We did for Valentine's Day. We are actually there Valentine's night.
Interesting. Well, I decided to kind of swerve from what we had talked about last week. So my question is, what is one thing you've wanted to say on the show since Rachel joined, but you didn't say it because you were afraid she'd shut it down immediately? And I have mine. This one's mine. I kind of want to I've been wanting to give Scott a buzzer where he can just interrupt anybody.
There you go.
But, this was back when it was just like the 4 of us, and I just decided, that's not going to work. We're trying to be refined, and we're trying to, meet people where they're at. And I just don't know what would happen if I gave you a buzzer. I don't know. I think it could be interesting.
I would be respectful.
Unless my instructions were, don't use it respectfully.
Yeah. Unless you give me
I'm sure if it's you all aimed at me, it's probably 1, Nate speaks slower so we can hear you. And 2, there's more to Hardin County than E-Town. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not wrong. I'm trying.
Anything for you, John? Anything you've
I
Or
don't
not
think
really?
that. Yeah, I don't. Not really. Yeah, I pretty much say everything I want to say. Seems like I
No,
don't know.
I get it. No, I mean, Rachel, to be quite honest, the question's more of a joke than anything else. Rachel doesn't keep us from saying anything. For the most part,
a little bit of a bait and switch there, Phil.
yeah, you know me. I like to
I'm
stir
just
the
messing.
pot occasionally, especially on a Tuesday like today, where like even though my voice, I've had strep throat. I finally broke out of it on Sunday, I guess it was, but I basically slept for 3 days straight. So I don't even have anything to do with Valentine's Day this year. I was asleep the entire day, which actually was probably better than a lot of my Valentine's days where I wasn't asleep. So
Play it safe.
not to hate.
Not to hate.
What about you, Sandy? Did you do anything for Valentine's Day?
Yes, I had a great time in Evansville, Indiana.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very good.
nice. Yeah.
I guess we'll kind of cover that for a minute with the other married men here, since the majority of you guys either have significant others. What did you do, Scott? Or
Chilled out.
no. What was that?
We kind of just chilled out. She's always
Okay.
going and going and stuff with music and everything else. So we just kind of chilled and had some.
Sometimes that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just slow
Yeah,
down.
just chill
Slow
out.
down. It was present for both of us. So.
What did you do, John?
I worked that night, but earlier in the day I went to the mud puddle party again and painted some things. So might have some things to look at next week to pick up behind me on the shelf here.
Cool.
Yeah, all right. Very cool. And we already got you, Nate. We talked about the pizza place drawing. Cool. All right. Well, audience, we want to hear what you guys did too for Valentine's Day and how you made your significant other extremely happy or extremely mad. Drop it in the comments and let us know.
Extremely
Don't get online. Don't do that.
Let us know. No judgment, judgment-free zone. Which
there you
gym
go.
says that? That's Planet Fitness, right? Judgment-free
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we're going to mix things up a bit today. Normally, we don't lead with business news, but today we are. So, Nate, what do you got for us?
We're going to start in Radcliffe. Scott, this is up in your end of the woods. I'm going to say this wrong because I don't eat this type of food. I call it General Pho. I'm sure it's pho or however you say it.
General Sal?
What'd you say?
Did you say General Sal?
PHO says Sal? I don't know.
Fa. It's fa. Like far away. Like far away. Yeah.
Away. Well, General Foz is coming to Radcliffe. It is 944 North Dixie. I apologize. On my previous post, I had it 914, which is the same area, but about a third of a mile down. It's 944. It's the green building right across from Showtime Cinema. So Showtime Cinema, if you're going northbound, Showtime Cinema would be on the left. The green building would be on the right. If you're coming from Radcliffe or going through Radcliffe to E-Town, it's going to be on the left with the Showtime Cinema on the right. They have a huge food truck. Van Tran introduced himself to me. Great guy. I know he's very well respected. I know especially during the shutdown, he was helping out people because he's a very former vet, or I guess a vet, always a vet, former soldier. And he was out on post, and they give a code word, and he would give them free food to try to get them by. It's going to be a huge menu from what I've been told. It's supposed to be open in the fall. They don't have an exact date yet. I do know the entrance is going to be not on the Dixie side, but around the building, which I did not see that one coming. But it's supposed to, they're going to have because that's where they'll be able to put the ramp and make it handicap accessible. It was really an option on the front end, so it makes sense. It just doesn't have the look of it. But there's supposed to be plenty of parking back there. They don't have an exact date. He is active on Facebook, and he will keep people up to date. But I'm excited. I mean, there's not a whole lot of Vietnamese sit-down places in E-Town. But we had one at Social on Main for a little bit. I'm sure John went to that one. But other than that, and we have the Banh Mi place by the Boba over at Lincoln Center. But not too many Vietnamese places in E-Town or Radcliffe. So I'm excited about that. More restaurant news because everybody loves food. El Guadalajara is coming to Lincoln Center. They will be replacing Tequila House. They're supposed to be open hopefully by March. It's going to be a few week changeover. I've been told it, and I'm going to say this wrong too. But I call it B. Jalisco. I'm sure some people be Jalisco. At least I took 3 years of Spanish. Passed it. Can't speak it. Took 3 years of Spanish. Passed the test, and I can't order off the top. So it's owned by the same people. I know that B. Jalisco has great reviews. It's one of the best loved places in E-Town. I'm sure all of y'all have been. I just not my type of food. Doesn't sit well in my stomach. We'll leave it at that. Gets kind of messy. But I think they'll be great. They have a great relation. They have a great respect. People love them, and so I think it's going to do well there. Scott, since you are a resident workout artist, other when John's not doing yoga, Fuel Fortress is coming to Joanne. It's not going to be a Spirit Halloween anymore. It's not going to be a Spirit Christmas. Joanne has been bought by Fuel Fortress. They are I'd say chain. There's about 7 or 8 locations. I think they've got one in Bowling Green. This is going to be their third Kentucky location. Do not have the exact opening date just yet, but they are going there. If there's more information, they have a Facebook page. They announced it on Instagram over at South Central Bank earlier this month. And so they have one in Bowling Green too if you want to go and check them out.
And he said they're going where? By
Joanne's.
Where Joanne? Oh, okay.
Where Joanne's was. So
Okay.
Joanne's on the corner, basically, I'd say opposite Malibu Jacks, I guess would be a good way to put it, where the road runs right between it. It's where Spirit Halloween has been before, or what they thought was going to go after Joanne closed. But it's right there on the corner. Panera's kind of over there too, down from El Tapatio. So that's where it's going to be.
Okay.
Kilwins, after a brief brouhaha, I like that word. So what had happened is the Publix developer puts a post out there that says, "Hey, all these things are coming with Publix in E-Town." A few days later, after I post it, it goes bye-bye, like the dodo bird. Don't know how long it was up, but after I posted it, less than 48 hours, it was gone. So I contacted every single group on that list and say, "Hey, are you all coming?" Kilwin's, one of their higher-ups, emailed me personally and said, "Yes, we're coming to E-Town." I do not know if it's Publix, but I would be shocked if it's not, because they say, okay, it's going here, but no, actually it's going here. That would be really strange to me. So I think it's going to go to Publix. We do not know. They haven't said exactly where they're going yet, but we do know Kilwin's will be on the way. If you've been to tourist towns like Gatlinburg Strip, they've got one. Panama City Beach, I know, has one. Branson, I have one on Branson Landing. They're usually around in tourist cities, tourist involved communities. But I think it's going to do well, especially if they get open during sports park season, because I think the sports park teams will just eat that up. So I think that's great. If you like chocolate, you'll get your fill. And I'm diabetic, and I'll take a shot. So, also, sticking with food and what was going to have something, our butterbeer is going to have to wait. The Sorting Spoon food truck is on hold. They were going to have butterbeer, or they can't say butterbeer, but I can say butterbeer. They were going to have that as one of their offerings. Tiffany Tucker reached out to me and said there's been a bit of a delay there. They're not saying no, and they're trying to work it out. And they're willing to listen to other people and say, hey, can you run this? What can you do? So they're still open to it. They still very much want to run it. Just as of right now, it's not going to launch as fast as they wanted it to.
If you're 21 and up and you want that butter beer, BBT's got the Potter shot. Just saying. You got to be 21 and up, but we got the Potter shot.
Yeah, he can't say butter beer, but I can say butter beer.
It is very delicious.
Yeah,
It is.
I had it at
It
Universal.
is very delicious.
It was great. I haven't had hot
agree.
beer. So
Well,
I think that's all I got for today.
that's some good stuff, Nate. Audience, if you have any business news, tips, updates, whatever you may have, drop them in the comments. And that way our audience can see. And it just because something is in our comments doesn't mean we vouch for the audience as well too. So just keep that in mind if you see anything in there that may or may not seem quite accurate.
Do your due diligence. If you need a fact check, use AI to help fact check.
Yeah, it works most of the time. Unless it hallucinates.
If you see my posts, I use it quite a bit. Ain't written, but all the information I've looked up, I've vouched for. I checked.
All right. Well, we thank you, Nate, for that. We're going to switch on over to our interview with Sandy. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Like I said before, let me get to my notes here before we get started. But as we're shifting gears here, I hope y'all liked my auto pun there. We have a very special guest joining us today. Someone who is representing Hardin County on the national stage. Yesterday, the New York Times published an article about Blue Oval SK battery plant shutdown and its impact on our community and the state in general. One of the people featured in the article is joining us right now. So we thank you for joining us. For those who may not know the backstory, we're not going to pretend like you all don't know the backstory. We definitely know, everybody knows that Blue Oval SK, a joint venture between Ford and SK On, that built a battery factory on 1,500 acres right here in Hardin County. It's one of the largest manufacturing investments in Kentucky history. Last September, just 4 months after the first batteries rolled off the line, Ford shut it down, laid off all 1,600 workers right before Christmas. And our guest was one of those 1,600 workers. So everyone give a hearty local welcome to Sandy.
Hey, Sandy.
I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name, but you can definitely pronounce it for me. I don't want to mess it up.
Yarborough.
Okay. Oh, that's not too hard.
It's not too hard, yeah.
Not at all. Russell Tucker, thank you for saying, hey, what's up with you, Russell? Good to see you. All right. Well, let's get into this. Setting the stage is part one of this interview. But thank you. I think I've thanked you 50 times already. So I guess my AI ghostwriter got a little thankful for once. Always ungrateful. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your connection to Hardin County.
Well, I've lived here for almost 10 years. I moved here for my best friend, and I've lived here, and I love Hardin County. It's like my favorite place to live. I'm from North Carolina originally.
Mm-hmm. All right. You're featured in this New York Times article that came out yesterday about Blue Oval SK. How did you end up being part of that story? Did the reporter reach out to you, or how did that come about?
I've done a lot of press already, and I'm affiliated with the UAW, which is United Auto Workers of America. And so everybody's been talking about it. Like, it's been wild. I've done probably like 6 interviews about it. So I guess the New York Times was like, hey, we want to be in too.
Yeah. Okay. What was it like to see your name
It
in the
was
story
so
in the New York
awesome.
Times?
It was awesome.
That would be cool.
It was a really, really cool experience.
Yeah. And they even came and take pictures too. Yeah,
They did. It was awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So take us back when you first got the job at Blue Oval SK. What was the moment like for you? What did the opportunity mean?
It meant an opportunity for a startup, something new and fresh and exciting. I think that everybody had the vision. A lot of people had the vision for it. I think that nobody wanted it to fail. You know what I mean? I think everybody was super excited. The culture was fantastic. The pay was pretty decent, pretty great for Hardin County. So I think that everybody was on board and had their hopes and dreams into Blue Oval.
That would make sense. What was the work like day to day? What was and also when you're thinking of that question, I guess I'm also kind of hinting to what was the energy like on the factory floor when things were running?
It was great. We had a startup production kind of ceremony, and everybody got plaques and coins, and I mean, everybody was fired up because we had been not doing a whole lot before startup production. We were just kind of cleaning, getting all the machines ready. So when we started, everybody was hyped, super hyped.
I bet. You also mentioned the UAW. The article mentions that workers had just voted to join UAW. What did that feel like? Did it seem like things were heading in a better direction because of that, or did it seem to cause any friction?
union perspective, better, but it did definitely cause a lot of friction for sure. There was a lot of anti-union things going on, and lies were told, and things like that.
Just drama. I mean, I think I've heard this story before, which, that's never fun or helpful for anybody, is it?
Right, exactly. I feel like we live in America and everybody's free to vote any way they want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, 100%. So then the shutdown, and I know some of these questions are moving quicker than maybe I meant for them to be. So don't feel like you got to rush through the answers. You can kind of tell your side, your narrative.
Okay.
So then in December, when you found out about Blue Oval SK pulled the plug just 4 months after the first battery came off the line, how did you find out, and what went through your mind when you found out?
We found out on UKG, which is kind of like an app, a Facebook app for us. Like, it just kept us all in the know. And it was I don't know, maybe like a 5-minute video of our CEO, Michael Adams, telling us the reasons why it's shutting down and what our next steps are going to be. And I liken it to a divorce. I think everyone was sad, angry, and confused. Because, I mean, some people kind of knew what was going to happen, but nobody expected it just to be like, okay, we're done February 14th. Like, don't ever come back to the plant ever again. They mailed our stuff from our lockers to us. Like, we've never we've never set foot on. Soon as we were done, like that day, it was over with. I haven't even seen Blue Oval since. And that was like,
weren't even allowed to come get your personal.
No. No. It was wild. I think it was over. I want to say it was like December 12th, 14th or something when we got the video. Somewhere around that area. Yeah.
I think that was about right. I had been at my sister's, and I was with my dad on a trip, and he didn't even know, and that's him being judged.
I know, it was just out of the blue.
They didn't tell anybody until you guys found out. It was like it was shocking to people like me or some of our hosts when we were discussing it. We had no clue either, and we didn't even work there, so I can only imagine how it felt for you guys. So the article mentioned, I bet the article mentioned 1,600 workers were laid off right before Christmas. What was the mood like? Since you didn't get to see your coworkers, I'm sure you still were. You guys developed friendships and stuff. How was the mood amongst other people that you did have relationships with there?
Well, I'm in a few different group chats, and shocked, sad, angry, a lot of angry people, because there's of course we had different age groups of people. I think the younger people were just like, well, on to the next job, but there are a lot of older generation who want that to be their final job. They're excited. They're going to work 5 or 10 more years, and they will be like, this is it. No, and so they got to start all over again.
Wow.
Yeah,
that would have to be really difficult. I could understand the anger, because I think if it was me, that would probably be where I would have went, would be anger.
Yeah.
Did you have any friends that had relocated here to work there, or?
Yeah, there were a few people who relocated. A lot of the upper management relocated. Somebody came from Arizona. They came from everywhere.
Yeah. How did those people react? I don't know. Was there a difference between the higher ups versus the actual factory workers?
I think the higher ups already knew because it was kind of in the air anyway. But we just didn't know how it was going to play out. I didn't think that it was going to be we're shutting it all the way down. I figured they would pivot into something else, and we would take the ECTC. They would send us back over there and train us to do something else while they're trying to figure out how they wanted to pivot, instead of just being like, scrap it all, start all over again. What?
Yeah.
Did
they keep anybody on to help with the moving equipment out or anything like that? Because they're gonna have to retool, or did they just kind of say everybody's done, we'll find people when we need them?
Well, the team leads and the supervisors and a few other people stayed from each department. they still had to fulfill, I think, 50,000 batteries.
Oh, really?
Anyway, so they had to complete those, and then that was it.
Gotcha. David Mather just asked, and you may not know how this. I don't know the answer to this question. You probably don't either, but we'll still ask it. How many people have been hired back? Because I don't know if that's an actual question, like the wording of that, because nobody's going to be hired back to Blue Oval SK, but there may be people that are hired back to Ford, because it's going to be Ford, not Blue Oval SK.
Right. Yeah. So with the union, we're trying to get succession rights, because we should have won our union back in August anyway. We had those 41 CERT team votes that were being contested, but we went to court. The NLRB decided that we actually won our union. So now we have to sit down with Ford, if they will have us, and talk about what our succession will be. Because a lot of people, even though they're angry and they're upset, they still want to work for the new company because it's convenient. The money was great. They already know the bill. You know what I mean? Like it's already set up, and we already know. So why not just slide us on in there?
Right.
Yeah. Have there been discussions about that, or is that something that's going to come down the road with the union?
It's going to come down there with the union, because a lot of the stuff that's with the union is basically lawyer stuff now. It's all contested in court. Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So there's been a lot of debate about why this happened. Some blame the EV tax credits going away. Some say Ford made bad business decisions. Some say politics. From your perspective, as someone who was on the factory floor and it was there, what do you think happened?
I think we had a lot of things stacked against us. I don't think America's really ready for fully EV batteries. That was one. Two, we had an aluminum plant that we made our Ford F-150 Lightnings from. That burned down twice, and that was in New York. Yeah, twice. And
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it was. We had a lot of. It was an uphill battle. I mean, of course, it was a startup, so I feel like as hard as we pushed, it was just one of these like kind of uphill battle type things.
Seems to always happen in startups. I've seen that.
Right, exactly. So we only. I think it was 3. I only think it only lasted like 3 years. Like it ain't even got to like 5th year. Yeah.
I was going to say most startups between the 3 to 5 year mark.
Right.
Then they'll last up to about 10, 15.
I also noticed like at some point last year, maybe it was the beginning of last year, about a year ago, I was looking at Ford Lightning leases, like for the truck, and they were so dirt cheap, and they still weren't selling. And I almost got one. It was like an $80,000 truck for $250 a month lease, which and they still weren't selling the things, So
right, that was part of it too.
Just because, like, I mean, for me, I don't need to tow a lot, but I noticed that they had they didn't go very far if you put stuff in the truck.
Right, exactly, yeah.
But none of that has anything to do with you guys at all. That's just it's something like when I start thinking about electronic cars, you start thinking about like Tesla, and they seem to know what they're doing,
right?
And people are going to buy those cars with or without the tax credits. I mean, I'm sure it does help when they do have them. But then a company like Ford that is just trying to get into it fresh and new, it just, all the challenges like you mentioned, it's just it's just a sad story. It really is. And I'm sorry that you went through that. So let's talk a little bit about life after the plant. The article mentions in the New York Times that you're now working at a data center, on construction on a data center in Indiana, and commuting over. Well, I guess you said you're staying at Airbnb.
Yeah.
But it's still over an hour compared to like a 20-minute drive. Tell us about the transition. What has the job search been like? Obviously, you found one now, but how's it been since you were laid off?
Well, it hasn't been all that great. I mean, of course, I'm in the group chats with people, and there's a lot of people who, as of February 14th, went on unemployment. Like they couldn't find anything comparable. I mean, there were jobs, like they had a job fair just for us, I think in January. And there were decent jobs, but not comparable jobs. And that's what everybody was saying. They're like, if they don't pay more than 20, you know what I'm saying? And then a lot of Bowling Green companies came up here, and a lot of people didn't want to drive that far. So it's it's been kind of difficult to find a job.
I'm sure. And I said laid off earlier. I meant fired. Just so you know.
Well, terminated.
Terminated, fired. I mean, as in, I don't want to make it sound better by saying laid off from the big company's perspective, because I don't think that's fair to you guys. I don't mean it that way.
Right.
So you told the New York Times, and I'm quoting here, it's a struggle now to find something that's comparable, which you just said too. What's that mean for you and in your day to day?
I'm thankful that I found something that was comparable, but like I said, I gotta get an Airbnb during the week, so I don't have to drive back and forth, because it's about an hour and a half drive home. Going up here is not that bad, but the home drive is the rough one. I think that during the time, people should pivot into something that they actually really like, into a career maybe, instead of just a job in the meantime.
Is that something that you found yourself thinking about?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like I'm trying to find something that will use my talents, and that will be prosperous for me. So I've applied to be an electrician, and that's a whole long process, which is a union electrician. Yeah. So right now I'm just being a construction worker, which I like.
Were there things that you learned while you were going through this process and learning that new job that you think has made you more, given you more skills that you didn't have prior, that could help you in that direction?
I believe so. I think that I'm most definitely a people person, and I think that I have the ability to pull people together for a purpose, for a purpose bigger than themselves.
And I think, did you say that you have started another, like, your own company, side business?
I
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. It's called Hardin's Hot Tea and Sweets, and it's more of like a wellness from the inside out, and more holistic teas. It can be cold brew or hot, but I feel like God gave us all the tools that we need to be healthy. So why not use them? You know what I mean?
Okay. And so I'm going to make sure that we put on Hardin Local, this new company, like the details of it. Do you have a Facebook page, or you do?
I don't actually.
Or not yet? Okay.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah.
Well, we'll once you have something, we can we'll definitely make sure that people know about it. And you said tea, like the tea you drink?
Yeah, like hot tea. Yeah, and I like sweet tea, but like like jasmine and green tea and oolong and all those good teas.
And you're like, explain a little bit more about what you're doing with that.
I'm trying to create wellness kind of on the go, because I know that we have so many coffee shops in town, but I feel like there's some people out there who like tea. I love tea. I'm not super a coffee fan. And I think that people want to prevent health problems and keep themselves up with Botox and working out and all cryogenics and all the things that people are doing. I feel like they can do things from the inside out. They can make themselves healthier from the inside out.
Okay. And so you're going to be selling like your own tea bags, or like how's it?
Tea bags.
Is that what you're doing? Okay.
Yeah.
And like, okay. All right. Well, we'll make sure we put that out there, because I think that that's pretty cool that you've taken that. One of your takeaways from this experience has been, I'm going to start my own business, which I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. Plus the economy, though. I feel like if you can't find a job, you got to make a job. That's how I feel about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you found a job, and you're trying to make a job too. So I give you props for that.
Yes.
So you mentioned the job fairs and looking for work closer to home. What are you hearing out there from other people in your situation? Are there other options out there that you may want to let people know about, or even where you're at now?
There is an opportunity for Canadian Solar that's up there in Jeffersonville. It's a startup too, and they're taking a lot of Blue Oval people now. You get to go to China for 3 months. That's pretty cool. Wow. They'll reimburse you for your passport, and it's basically manufacturing. But yeah,
What was the name of that company?
Canadian Solar.
Okay.
So
And that Canadian Solar. And well, I'll get some information from you later to put on hardinlocal.com in case there's people watching that want to look into that, because that could be very cool for some people. I mean,
Yeah,
that'd be a difficult thing for somebody that had kids, or a family. But
right. They've already hired a few people from Blue Oval, and they're supposed to go to China. I want to say March 9th is when they leave.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's kind of cool. I've never been.
Me neither.
Did you look into it? Are you gonna do something like that, or not? You like what you're
Probably
doing now?
not, because manufacturing was cool, and that was like my first manufacturing job. But I don't think it used my talents the way I would like.
Okay.
But
That's
I
fair.
learned a lot from working over there. I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
that's true.
All right. Oh, looking ahead in community impact, Ford says that they plan to reopen the factory next year or so to make large batteries for data centers, which you said you're building right now, and utilities, with about 2,100 jobs. Laid off workers, I guess they can apply but aren't guaranteed a spot. What's your reaction to that?
I think they should take us all back. I mean,
Yeah.
we, like I said, we already know. We
No, I
know
agree.
how everything goes. We know how the building layout, and we don't have a job. Might as well just go ahead and take us. Like, I
I
think
agree.
people are eager to go back to work, and they don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Might as well just go ahead and take us. You have the workforce right here. Boom.
That makes sense. So this community, like our community in Hardin County, invested a lot. $250 million in infrastructure, training facility at ECTC, tax breaks, even a sister city relationship with South Korea. When you talk to people around town, what's the feeling about all that now?
They're disappointed.
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 That makes sense. If you could speak directly to the people watching today who might be in a similar situation, laid off, looking for work, trying to figure out what's next, what would you tell them?
Take this time to figure yourself out so that you don't have a job, you have a career, something that's long lasting that will propel you into your future. That's what I would say.
I think that's really great. I do. I really appreciate your, I guess, what would we call it, Scott? I'm trying to think of the word, just like positivity.
Yeah, positivity, insight, encouragement.
Positivity in a really bad situation.
Yeah.
I try to be positive.
That's all that we can control.
Right, exactly. You don't control what your day to day. So
I also appreciate your honesty. Just brute. I love it. The fact that you're like, okay, this happened. What was me? Let's move on. Let's the whole window door thing is that
right, exactly.
And if you have to go to Jeffersonville, you have to go to Jeffersonville. But a lot of us have lost jobs before. Obviously, not like that. Like I was down in Florida looking at my phone, and somebody sent me the video. I'm like, this is going to be bad. Like this is going to rock our world.
Yeah, it rocked a lot of people.
I think I said to Phil, I said, I think pretty sure this is legit. This is true. We had a conversation about it. Like this is going to dominate some of our conversations. I like the fact that you said what you said. And you've been outspoken. You haven't been afraid. And I wish the best for you. I think starting a new business is always great. I love to see. I've been known to help small businesses. I'm pretty sure. And but the fact that you're trying to bounce back on your feet, and you're not just going to sit there and just do what it is. Like you're moving on, and you're determined, and there's a lot to be said for that.
Well, thank you.
And
I think there's a space in Hardin County for tea. I really do.
I do so.
I'm going to be at the West Hardin County Spring Vendor Fair.
There you
March 7th, from 9 to 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to get that out there. I don't have anything to write it down with now, but we're just reminding me to make sure we announce it before it comes up. March 7th, you said?
Yeah, March 7th, yeah.
All right. And Scott, where were you? You had some final thoughts there?
I was just saying that I like drinking me some green tea. So I would like to try some.
Ooh, okay, cool.
I know when I used to live in I lived in Providence for a while back in the day, and they always had all these bubble tea places and just lots of different tea. It was almost like they had as many tea places as coffee places up there.
Right, yeah.
So and I do like tea a lot. And I think there was an article that came out sometime in the past week or so that talked about how like having 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day or tea is actually good for you, and it actually can help you not have the early onset dementia or something like that. I'll have to see if I can find that article. It was a scientific study too, that I heard quoted from yesterday. And if I can find it, I'll put it in the comments of this article, because I think it's interesting to hear good things. Sometimes you just always hear, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah.
So, your comment there with your business idea and what you're doing reminded me. But we really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your story.
Thanks
The
for having
fact that you're representing Hardin County on the national stage through the New York Times, that matters. We've linked the article on hardinlocal.com, so you can go check that out if you're interested in learning more about that article. It's pretty long, but it is definitely worth the read. So, audience, if you want to read the full article, I've already told you where to find it. And if Sandy's story resonated with you, and if you're a former Blue Oak worker or know someone who is, drop it in the comments. And we see you. This community sees you. And I know the leaders see you as well. At least the ones that I talk to, they definitely do care.
Yeah.
And we're sorry that this has happened to you guys. But anyway, we're going to move on to events now. And Sandy, you can feel free to stick with us, or you can drop off if you have something else you need to do. But we're going to finish up with events. And John, switch over to you, John. All right. Did I pull the right person over?
Yeah, we're good now. Yeah.
Just might be down to the bottom right. We're good.
Oh, just smack them that way. All right. So one big thing, trivia is going on at Flywheel tonight, and Bustin' Bites is going to be serving up some delicious corn dogs. I cannot have those being on the 75 hard, but
how's that going,
Bustin'
man?
Bites. Oh, it's
we
going.
Need a quick update. Give us a little update on how it's going.
Look at buffs. No. There's nothing there. There's nothing there.
I think
day
your
17.
face is thinner than your beard now.
Yeah, it's a little slim,
It's getting. I could definitely tell a difference. Definitely.
Maybe at the end of this, I'll trim it down so we can see what's going on. Who knows? But yeah, day 17, rolling along,
Nice.
pretty smooth. Had the first rain day on Sunday, so that was fun to jog in the morning in the rain. But I have a weatherproof jacket, so I didn't get wet. I was good to go.
Yeah.
But along with that, tomorrow the mixing bowl class is going to be up at Songbird Quilting Studio in Vine Grove, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a hands-on craft workshop. Beginners are welcome. Come on, check it out. Thursday, we got the 6th grade girls travel basketball tryouts from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at Elizabethtown Christian Academy, hosted by the Kentucky Elite. So they're adding a couple members to that team. So if you want to try to check that out, if you're good at the b-ball, you got that 3 down, go over there and try out. Have a Black History Month speaker, Jerry Bransford, 6 o'clock. At ECTC, Owens Building, room 112. It's presented by the Hardin County History Museum. It's going to go over the role of African Americans in mapping, exploration, and development of Mammoth Cave, which was very important, getting through all those caverns and trying to map out all those things. I mean, we still haven't mapped it fully, right? I mean, there's still spots where they can't get to, but that's pretty awesome. Friday, we have a teen movie night. It's free up in Radcliffe, 5 to 8 p.m. The movie starts at 5:45. So head up there. The Mod Squad Teen Outreach Ministry is putting that on, so you get a free movie if you're a teenager up there. St. Patrick's Day door hanger paint party at the Outrageous Adventures with Rita. Cost is $35 and $10 discount. If the painting on the reverse side of a nutcracker board. I do not know what that means, but that sounds interesting. I guess that means if you don't care if there's a nutcracker on the other side, you get $10 discount.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
But hey, then you can just flip it over during Christmas time and you got a nutcracker cutting board. The hormone therapy open house, Watson Family Medicine. Meet Dr. Watson, learn about what they have to offer you. It's at 6 p.m. There's a Mardi Gras party at the Haycraft. Mardi Gras. That's today, or that was yesterday. That's today. Today's Mardi Gras, right? Why do we not have like Mardi Gras things going on right now? Yeah, it's Fat Tuesday. It's Fat Tuesday.
Oh, it is Fat Tuesday, yeah.
Mardi Gras. Yeah, it's happening today.
Didn't even remember.
Did you miss that, Phil? I mean, that memo.
I was strapped.
Blame it on the AI.
I was sick.
But yeah. So Fat Tuesday. That's the beginning of it. It's knocking it out. I know there's a lot of fun things going on, but you can go check it out this weekend. There's gonna be live DJ dancing, Mardi Gras atmosphere. Not gonna go into whatever that is because that's down at the Haycraft. They can do what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Saturday, you got the Spring Fling Craft Art at the Pritchard Community Center. That's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Local artisans, handcraft things, seasonal vendors. Maybe if you get some teas ready, you could sell some teas down there.
Here you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you apiary, anybody have a big into apiary? No, nobody wants to be a bee man, huh? So if you beekeeping, yeah. If you want to learn how to be a beekeeper,
cool.
the Hardin County Cooperative Extension Service has you covered. They got an intro to beekeeping starting this weekend at 10 a.m.
on Saturday. Yeah,
it's a very weird thing, beekeeping. You know, you got to smoke them, you got to disorient them, you got to wear the suit, hopefully, so you don't get stung in the face. I wish Britten was here because there's a mac and cheese cook-off going on, and I was wondering if he's going to be involved in that at the Serenity Club.
we'll have to ask him.
Yeah, if anybody else is interested in mac and cheese, put it in the comments. I want to know what your recipe is. What do you all like? Do you all like a baked mac or do you like a stovetop mac?
Whichever tastes better.
Baked.
So baked.
Definitely.
All right, we got baked. Baked.
Baked.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everybody's baked. Okay. All right. Well, that's
How do
interesting.
you like
You
yours?
saw me over here in the corner. I was eating hamburger helper with barbecue.
Oh.
See, so that's not baked. So he likes the non-baked, with a little meat in there,
Yeah.
There is a Hall of Fame gala hosted by the Radcliffe Small Business Alliance. Award ceremony, music, auction, dancing, and sports celebration. Jersey theme attire is encouraged.
This is that redo, right? They rescheduled after.
They
the
rescheduled.
storm.
Yep, they rescheduled.
This is probably the event of the weekend right here, the Hall of Fame gala.
It's a pretty big one. It's a pretty big one. Well, that and the one that Nate brought up, the wrestling. Nate, you want to talk about wrestling?
Oh yeah, we got wrestling. We got some wrestling. I do love me some wrestling. I grew up a huge. It's still WWF to me. I call it WWE. I still slip. So it's live professional wrestling Saturday. Or is that just for dirt or monster trucks? Who knows? Anyway, live professional wrestling Saturday, February 21st. Upton Community Center. Yeah, is 377 College Street Road College Street in Upton. Sponsored by the Upton Civic Club. Doors open at 4. Bell time is 6:30. We also have some celebrities in the house. Not me, but Turtle Man. I think a lot of people around
Turtle
here
Man.
Turtle Man.
Turtle Man.
You know, see? You know who Turtle Man is.
Yeah.
Turtle Man is going to be there. The Red Shadows Band. John, you might be familiar. I do not. Diamond Jim Boardwine is going to be there. Red Shadows Band, Pro Wrestling and more. You can call 270-766-7205. You can email uptoncivicclub@gmail.com. Find Leslie Knight or Sarah Knight on Facebook. They've been big promoters. I've grown up with the Knights for a while. Tickets are $5 for 17 and under. That's pretty good for kids. 18 over, general seating $10 in advance, $12 if you do it on Saturday. Ringside is $12 or $15 if you do it on Saturday. So,
Yeah,
I think it'll be a fun night.
that sounds like fun.
It's going to be a night full of live action right there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Big slaughter knocking.
may have to swing through there. I'm coming down. My kid has a robotics thing on Saturday in Cecilia, so after that's over, time permits, maybe we'll roll down to Upton.
Way back when, in a past life of mine, when I was a sports writer. There's a wrestling event that came to North Hardin, and I watched them put together the mat and everything. It's like, oh, you want to get body slammed? I was like, no, I don't. He's like, I do. I was like, no, I don't. I got body slammed, and it doesn't give a whole lot either. So I have a lot of respect. You could say it's fake. You could say I say predetermined. I say choreographed and predetermined because you can't fake falling off a turnbuckle.
Right.
I watched Scott Putski blow out his knee at in your house where this is where they still had the metal gates. Now they went rubber, but he missed it by about a foot, and his knee hit the metal thing, and it busted right in front of live TV. My parents were interviewed at the house. They said, "What happened?" And we explained it. Like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Yeah." And I don't even know if he wrestled again.
Oh my God.
His career was over after that. So I have a lot of respect for the wrestlers. I've met Kurt Angle before. I met some other ones. I grew up with it, but it's the man. So
he's my favorite.
I bet Earl had after a match one time. I watched Stone Cold beat somebody down in the parking lot. So it's fun. But I have a lot of respect for them. They put their bodies out there time after time. They do it at the Hardin County Fair. You'll see them again. And but it's a fun night.
I think you had one other event in there, John.
Yeah, we got one more live music out of the Cosmic Golf. Jonathan Pax to be out there Saturday, 8:30 to 11:30. He'll be playing a kind of laid back spot, and you can go enjoy that.
That sounds like a solid week. I think they're kind of 13 events across 4 days. Do you have a personal favorite on that list, John?
I would say the wrestling probably is getting in there. That's a fun time, especially with Turtle Man. Maybe he'll jump in on that action, that live action.
Heck yeah, I think so. All right. Well, I think we covered all that. We thank you for those events, John, and good job on the Hard 75. Keep it up.
Working on it.
So if you're watching and you know an event we missed, drop it in the comments. We want to make sure everyone knows what's happening in our community. And we thank you guys for watching. All right. What?
There's actually one that the North Hardin High School Choir is performing Susical Jr. this Saturday. My son will be playing Horton the Elephant in there. So
when and where is that at?
It's going to be this Saturday at the Performing Arts Center, the PAC.
At what time?
And it's going to be at 7 p.m. on the 21st and at 3 p.m. on the 22nd. Tickets are $10, and it's going to run times approximately in almost an hour and a half.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's a great place to watch a show. If you have never been to the PAC at John Hardin, there's no bad seat at all. I went and watched your son, obviously, for Footloose. The Footloose was great. I went back at Christmas time. I think it was the Heart of Kentucky Chorus. I don't know if that's their name now, but they had a vocal one, and it was fantastic. And I think it was Through the Movies was what they did. So it's a great place to watch a thing. I've seen Circa Zuma Zuma way back when there too. I love the fact that our area has so many performing arts opportunities, whether it's BBT and the small acts down there, Cosmic Golf getting into it, Docs has stuff, the hanging out, we will have later on this year, we'll be talking about the one day festival again, the Highland Farms. So I think, especially now compared to where John and I growing up in the 90s and going to Central Hardin together, is so many more opportunities now than it was 20, 25, 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Yeah, it really is true too. We do have a lot of opportunities there in Hardin County for performing arts, and glad to see your son taking advantage of it, Scott. I hear he is talented. I don't know if I've actually seen him perform, but from what you guys, but I'm gonna have to eventually because he must really enjoy it to be involved in all the different types of shows they have there, because that's a lot of work, isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it a lot of work?
Takes a lot of work, coordination, vocal exercising, physical. Gotta remember lines. I can't remember a lot of stuff, so you have to have a really good memory to remember lines and being able to sing and all that stuff. So
I'm glad this is unscripted.
Yeah, it's a good shout out.
Don't give me a
shout out. It's a good shout out to and that's what we're moving into now is closing and shout outs. And I wanted to give John an opportunity to shout out this poster behind him. 50 and still
50.
spilling.
50 and still spilling. He got a little spill on his shirt there. Ashley Kaiser, one of a local legend around here, downtown area, hangs out. Good guy, always got a smile on his face. So he turns 50 today. He'll be hanging out. So if you're of the age of 21 and up, and you know Ashley, and you want to give him a shout out on here, or come down to the bar and sign his poster, come on down. He'll be here hanging out.
Happy birthday, Ashley. I do know you.
Oh,
Hope you enjoy that. I'll be there before I know it. But yes.
I got to go. So.
All right, John.
Bye.
Yeah. Nate, not John.
thank you, great.
Yeah, Nate. Anybody else got any shout outs? Anybody birthdays, anniversaries, anything else? Or we good to go? All right. Well, we thank you guys for joining us today. And just want to remind everybody, go to hardinlocal.com. You can find our links there. If you are watching us right now and you haven't followed us, go ahead and follow us. And later on tonight or in the morning, I will have the Spotify podcast versions of this episode out and some other segment videos. So check back for those. And we just thank you guys for being included here and joining us at Hardin Local. Also, the election interview registration is open until the end of the month. So we have over 25 candidates have already signed up. So if you're one of the ones that hasn't, go to hardinlocal.com and find the register link at the bottom of the page. Scott, John, Nate, Sandy, appreciate you guys being here today. The original 4 plus Sandy back together 40 weeks later. We've come a long way, I feel like, since that first one on Zoom. And, we have over 3 million views since then. And we just thank our supporters and fans and followers. So
Thank you all.
to everyone watching, thank you for being part of our Hardin Local community. We're grateful you spent time with us today. And if you haven't spent time with us today, we look forward to you watching the recorded version. And we'll see you next Tuesday, same time, same place. Until then, support local, stay connected, and enjoy all the amazing things happening right here in Hardin County.
Yep.